Y'all, I got back from NOLA this morning, and when I tell y'all, I am so tired yet still excited and pumped from the concert. I was not even planning to go to Beyonce this year because I was like, like the tickets, everybody talking about how high the tickets are and stuff like that. And so I had met a new friend, and she was like, and we became close friends like real quick. And she's like, let's go to Beyonce in New Orleans. And I'm like, I'd be so down to do that, actually. Like, I'm really open to that. So we ended up doing, like, the road trip, the 6-hour drive to New Orleans.
Oh,
and,
shit.
man, we were there. We had such a good time, y'all. Oh, God. I had so fun.
So how did
so
she,
much fun.
does she do a whole set by herself, or does she have,
The
like,
whole
openers?
set was by herself.
Really?
The entire thing.
Okay.
Yep.
How many songs?
Huh?
How many songs?
Ooh, it was a lot. It was a lot. But I mean, I didn't count the number of songs, to be honest, but she did a lot of like her throwbacks, her new album, Renaissance, and she's just amazing. She's such a great performer.
Okay.
I love that. So.
I was about to, Taylor Swift had her little, you know what I mean? So I was trying to figure out like who has the real best show. You know what I'm saying, going on
I've
right now.
never been, and nor do I plan on going to a Taylor Swift show. So
Hey,
I could never
I
tell
set that
you.
up? Yeah. I had to set it up, bro.
Could never tell you that.
Taylor Swift going crazy.
I mean,
right
what
now.
would she be doing on stage? Honestly, I just can't imagine.
Everybody's saying she got the best show on earth, so I'm trying to figure out.
Best
you know
show
what I'm
on
saying?
earth?
Yeah. They going
like
crazy.
Disneyland?
They going there for real. They going crazy.
No, that's crazy.
For some Swift, man.
No.
That's crazy.
I watched Future. That's the last concert I went to was Future. I don't think I'll be seeing Beyonce or Taylor Swift anytime soon, but
What's going on, beautiful people of Atlanta? I go by the name of DJ 9D. Alongside with me is Keisha, Kel,
Whoop.
and we are the Bridge ATL. Keisha, please let them know what we got going on.
Y'all, we're talking about a lot today, okay? So many different things. So we just talked about Beyonce, and we're going to get into, y'all know this hot topic right now, body counts, because I'm so curious to know what y'all think about that. And not only just body counts, but we're going to get into word on the street. And we have a lot of breakups that have been happening. Last episode, we talked about cuffing season. So we're talking about the complete opposite, which is people ending their relationships, like what's going on. And we have some artist spotlights. And you know what? We're going to get into parents raising their kids, okay? And we got Keisha done said it. So stay tuned, y'all. We have to get into so much. I mean, Beyonce's thriving, you guys. So I'm just wanting to let you guys know that that's the first thing. That's where my head is at, and that's where my heart is at. But I want to know what y'all think about body counts, because I want to know how you guys see a relationship maybe with a person. If you guys consider their body counts, does that like change your perspective on them? Because we just had Brittany Renner say that she has a body count of 35, and so many people were shocked by this. But I want to know what you guys think about that, and has there ever been a time where someone's body count deterred you from wanting to talk to them and build a relationship with them?
Of course.
Of course, what?
Of course, like when it comes to like women and their body counts, that's so unattractive. Us men, we could do that just because I feel like, we naturally are meant to have multiple, women at the same time. Certain religions, Muslims, they do it and everything like that. I'm saying.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's your unpopular opinion, or your opinion. I'll say that. Carry on.
But no, I mean, it's different because men, we give, women they take. Energy travels within those body counts, and you'll be surprised how much personalities or baggage you pick up from certain individuals if you continue to intertwine with a lot of body counts. You know what I'm saying? That's just my point of view on the Kel. What you think?
So yeah, I agree with the majority of what you said. I do think that men are naturally supposed to have multiple partners. That is, the case. I mean, today in society, we have created a society where monogamous relationships are like, that's the standard. That's what you want. That's the full dream, marriage and having that one partner. You know what I mean?
I think I'm allergic to what y'all saying. That's the only
Let me finish.
I have here.
I gotta finish. However, you will meet a girl and never know her body count, and it could be 200, and you will never know if you never ask that question. I've met girls that I respected, that were very promiscuous and did all that. And I, if I did not know about their body count, and if I pursued a relationship where that wouldn't dissuade me from being with her. So I don't think body count is the end all be all. Mm-hmm. But like I said, the main thing was what he said. I do agree that that is mostly a men thing. Women can do it, but it's just from our standpoint, from our mindset. If a female allows a man into her bed multiple times, it's kind of like, it's different. But obviously we're biased. We're men. You know what I mean?
It's
not
certain things we can do
Yeah.
that women can't, and there's certain things men can't do that women can. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
it's just one of those. things.
It's one of those things. It's a double standard, 100%, absolutely.
Yeah.
But I truly believe that naturally it's supposed to be like that, kind of. So,
Right.
So I always have been curious to know. So if men are supposed to have multiple partners and women are supposed to have a small amount of partners, right? I've always been curious. So what is it like? Where are men supposed to get these multiple partners from, and women are supposed to have a small number? Because to me, I've always felt like guys have been raised to be like, oh yeah, go get that. But the women are taught to like not have sex, right? So I'm always like, so what are you supposed to go get if we're not supposed to be giving up sex? Like, because to me, I've always been curious to know, like, how does that match up? How does that make sense? Is that a fair question? Did you guys understand?
So I think it's like the way we're raised, our community in terms of not even just men, like women are like, I'll hear some shit where a girl say, I want a dude who can get girls, right? Okay, cool. You know what I'm saying? Men want a girl that dudes like, but don't really give it to them. You know what I'm saying? That really hold it in, is able to move in a way where that doesn't affect them. It's weird, right? Like, I just feel like society has just moved us that way in terms of just conversation and media, movies, whatever. You know what I'm saying? Our mindset is built upon a female's dignity in terms of not giving up her body. And then the man is supposed to be just this bravado dude who's just going out and going to get it. But it's like we've been programmed to think that that's what it's supposed to be. Obviously, it doesn't matter. It really doesn't. At the end all be all, like I said, you can meet a female with way better qualities than a female with less bodies. That's just a fact. But we've been programmed, and it's hard to like remove that habit. So I think it's a mindset thing.
I mean, look at the statistics. There's more women than men, at the end of the day. So it's like, in all reality, it kind of makes sense for us to have multiple in order to even out a playing field, because I think 1, maybe 2 out of 5 women will get married and have kids and all of this stuff like that. And some, out here being city girls will become the ones that live with cats at the end of the day.
Okay. Wow. So what you're saying is so funny, because to me, I really don't know. Like, I can understand what you're saying. You're like, this body count thing is a made up myth. It's like to determine a woman's value.
Yeah.
Like, that's more so. And I completely get behind that, because to me, I think guys with small dicks are the reason why they're like upset that women have large body counts. That's my opinion. I'm so serious. I feel like guys who have like, they have little dicks, they're like, I'm mad because now they're like, you're loose, or you're just so promiscuous and you're out there. I'm like, that is so crazy to me. I'm just like, oh my God, just go get the surgery. But like, that to me is why I'm like, who are these people talking about someone's value? However, I get that if that is your, that is like something that you're not going to be able to get behind, then that's your decision. But don't degrade and devalue a woman because she was having fun or whatever. I'm like, if she had fun, how does that bother me? Like, how does that impact me? The only thing that it does impact is if someone tries to come and approach me and tries to put me in the same category. That's not happening. I'm not doing that, because I'm like, wait, what's going on? So to me, to degrade and devalue a woman for being like, okay, I'm having sex, like, especially if y'all been raised to go get sex, like, what are y'all doing? Like, y'all confused. Y'all are really confused. So that's why I'm like, sit down, like, go look past it, go get the surgery, like, move on. You know what I'm saying? And so that's why I'm like, what are we talking about? Like, what is happening?
Like, I tell everybody, don't lead a conversation with a female or even bring up body count. It's not good for both of y'all. Because you know, you go into dangerous waters. But like I said, I don't think me personally, when I think about, okay, you got a high body count, I don't think about nobody dick. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just like, it's not about looseness and nothing like that. It's just more so, who are you letting in your circle? Mm-hmm. Like, who are these 35 men you letting in your circle? Like, who are they? What are they here for? It's more about the character, your mindset. You know what I'm saying? Like, because man, we gonna hit some dummies. I ain't gonna lie. Like, we will f- dummy. Like, for real. It's not about, but it's not about the girl. It's about the thrill, right? So it's like, with y'all, I feel like y'all would. I don't think y'all go for dummies. So y'all go for men that y'all might, you know what I'm saying, have a little bit of respect for. So it's like, do you?
I don't, but I mean, like, what I'm trying to say is I'm only speaking for the women because my experience is different. That's not my circumstance. Right. You know what I mean? Like, I am very selective, but I'm like, to downgrade somebody who is like, their selective process may have been looking different than mine, but they may have been very selective on the 35 that they were going for. You get what I'm saying? Now, I don't really believe her. That's my thing when it comes to, I don't believe her, but I mean, it doesn't make me think like, oh, it's probably really like this number, but I'm just like, okay, it seemed shocking to me that she was the one who said 35, but at the same time, I'm like, I don't think that I consider her value, like losing value or whatever based off of like her body count. And that's what I'm saying. Like, to have, like, because you said if you're out here city girling and you're going to be the woman with the cats, sometimes there are executives, women who legit, like, have put themselves in high positions of power, and they have not found a man who can match that, and they refuse to settle, because we talked about that before, and they're the ones that you're talking about with cats, but they aren't out here necessarily city girling. So I think it's just crazy to just try to associate, like, someone having fun or whatever the decision process was and saying that she's going to end up lonely because of that.
Waste, having fun is the less value you're going to get. Like, you know, if the older you get, the less value in possibility of you finding a husband and being taken serious. You know, a lot of women, certain women, I should say, you know, waste time, you know, going this, that, and other place, hopping around, getting their body counts up, you know, while they could be honestly just, you know, putting themselves, respecting themselves in a certain position in order to have a lot of brothers knocking at their door. You know, us men, we don't care about the education. We don't care about how much money you got. We care about how you carry yourself and how you value yourself. And if you continue getting body counts up and up and up, we're not going to look at you like that. We're going to just look at you as something to hit and leave. That's just what it is.
I mean, old girl, she was talking about, with what you were saying, Ebony, I think her name is Ebony K. White. She was talking about, you know, the older you get, the harder it is for you to attain a good man, decent man that you want, and that it is very. She suggests that if you're in college or around that age, you should try to find marriage then, because if you value family
exactly
over everything else, like I said, man, it depends on who you are. I think, like I said, society is gonna put you in a box. So if a female want to go out here and have fun and do what she want to do, that's fine.
Yeah,
you know
so be it. That's what it is.
You know, family, whatever. You know, the route that I'm going personally, I know I have to get my financial straight, like get everything straight, you know, stability and all that. That's going to take more than 20 years, 21 years, 25 years. You know what I'm saying? It's going to take time. So,
in your case, it's different because women care about what you can provide for them. So I understand that.
Yeah. I mean, you know, it also depends on who you want to find. I do value education in a female. I think it's very important. I think, you know, you got to have some kind of sophistication about yourself. I think that's very
being
important.
Stupid.
I'm just saying, like,
just be stupid. Outright,
yeah, I know what you're talking about, but like,
yeah, but you know how many women waste their time on trying to get their degrees than actually focusing on just finding a husband, bro. Like being strong, independent, but yet you trying to find somebody to support
I don't know. See, that's the thing. Like, I don't think looking for a degree is a waste at all. I think that's amazing. Because what she's gonna do is, if I have a daughter, she's gonna tell my daughter how to get her degree. And I'd easily rather have my daughter go out here and be independent and not have to worry about a man paying for her 100%.
Right.
No, I'm just saying, like, you know, because a lot of the dudes, they like, you know, I'll take care of my wife and everything. That's cool.
Mm-hmm.
But I was raised by, my mother and my sister worked, you know what I'm saying, like, their entire lives. And my sister has a master's degree. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, from where we came from, it's amazing. Like, I want my daughter to be able to do the same thing if I have one. You know what I'm saying? I want my niece to be on the same level. So it's like, I value independence in the female heavily. So it's like, I would never want them to have a man take care of them and put them in a spot where if he ups and leaves and she can't handle anything when she's gone. So it's like, that's why I'm looking at it like, go ahead, do what you want to do, you know what I'm saying? But just be smart about it. I don't care what it is. Just be smart about it and understand the consequences that come with it. Like, you might not have a man until, you know what I'm saying? Like, you might not even have a man that you really want. You might be independent for the rest of your life or whatever. You know what I'm saying? But as long as you know what you're doing, you're strong in it, that's all I want you to do. That's it. So
DJ 9D is the new Kevin Samuels, is what it's seeming like to me, because everything that you're saying is really what I felt like I've heard Kevin Samuels say.
I mean, you know, Kevin Samuels definitely had those are true. You know what I'm saying? Because there is a lot of females who do want that, and what he's saying is basically what, you know, not you. I think you're more of a, you know what I'm saying, a smarter selection, right? And it's like the other ones are more. They're more like, I want this and all that, but they're not working towards it. You know what I'm saying? They don't understand the consequences that come with it, and they don't understand what paths they have to go through to deal with that. You can't be sitting out here just chilling and then want a high value dude. That's just not going to happen. Kevin Samuels preached that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You have to really work on yourself. You have to really understand what beauty is and try to, like, really move in the world. And I think who he's trying to speak to are the majority of these females who think you can just sit and then not do anything and just still gain a high level of man. That's bullshit. And he's just trying to spit that, and I feel him. Want it.
Yeah, but you did just say, I'm only saying this because I'm like thinking of it all, like that you don't value education. I'm talking about you, DJ 9D. Mm-hmm. You said men don't necessarily value education or these like accolades that you can get from like going to college or getting a job or being independent. So I'm curious to know, like, so should women be sitting down or should women be getting educated? That's what I'm confused, is because something seems as if they're contradicting themselves. Which one is it?
Well, maybe you didn't understand.
No, yeah, that's why I'm asking for clarity.
When it comes down to education, you know, certain women put things on the back burner in order to focus on themselves and get, you know, this degree, that degree, which is cool. I get it. I understand it. What Kel just explained, I get it. I understand it. You don't want no dummy. But at the end of the day, coming to the first point that I made, the more time you waste, the less value you have on finding that dude. You know, the older you get, man, because honestly, certain men, they want the young, you know, submissive.
Young ting.
Yeah, the young submissive. We don't want somebody in their 40s just trying to get their degrees, or in their 30s trying to get their degrees, or their late 20s trying to get their degrees, or whatever. You should have did all that when you got out of high school, and did all that when you're trying to learn how the world works. You know, now there's certain women that already have kids that's by themselves trying to get their degrees and everything. They do all that. By the time they done with all that, they damn near touching 50. And they by themselves. You know, I'm not speaking for it on education being bad. I'm not saying that. I'm saying the more time you waste on putting stuff on the back burner that really means a purpose of just living and passing down your name, you know, that degree gonna always be there. But being the fact that you putting a husband, a family, stability on the back burner just to have a degree at a later age is absurd to me.
I think I agree with him, because I think he's talking to the majority of a lot of females who don't really have a path, and they're, like I said, they're looking for a certain outcome that's like on social media and believing that that'll actually happen. And it is a double standard. It's harder for women. You know what I'm saying? Like off the gate. So Kevin Samuels tried to say it. You know, he tried to speak it. You know, you don't want to. It doesn't seem like a waste of time. Like I said, if you're smart, you're sophisticated, it's not a waste of time. But the majority of the world is not get it. You know what I'm saying? It just is what it is. Otherwise, we'd all be successful. So it's up to you. You know what I'm saying? If you know what's going on out here in the world, it is very imperative that you get all of your stuff done early if you're a female, and knock that out instead of waiting. You can't wait as a female, and it sucks. I think.
This is why I think this topic always gets me, is because it's always what the woman should be doing rather than like what the man should be doing. Like that's what always bothers me and irks my nerve about these conversations, is because we're talking about women shouldn't be getting a degree, but then they should, but then men are not being held to that same standard of leveling themselves up, because that to me is really what I'm like hearing. It's like no one's talking about men leveling themselves up as well. Like, why not take accountability, level yourself up, so that way you can come and have your own high value of your providing, so that way everybody's able to we're able to move up as a culture.
I think so. That's another thing, like you said, as a culture.
Yeah,
men don't care about other men. Like
men don't care about other men.
We don't care.
What does that mean?
So, when Kevin Samuels or 9D, when he talks about this and he says things about women, I don't think he really cares about the outcome of man or another man. Like, he feels like, okay, if he's not going to do what he's going to do, he's done already. You know what I'm saying? Like,
he doesn't even deserve it.
He don't even we don't. Whatever, you know what I'm saying? Like, of course, we know he needs to level up 100. Every man knows what we got to do.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
But if they're not going to do it, we're not going to speak on it, because it's like, that's understood. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't look at men talking about women as like, oh, why don't you talk about men? We don't care about them. If they don't know already, it's over with. We trying to build up our women. That's how we see it.
And that's fine.
And it looks like we're trying to
if you want to build up women.
Yeah.
But that's what I'm saying. Okay, if we want to build up women, let's do that, but let's build up men too. Like, that's the problem that I'm saying, is because everyone is trying to point the finger on women need to be doing more of this, more of that, less of this and less of that. And so because that's what I'm hearing, is never coming back on, oh, the guys should be doing more of this, more of that. But it's like, oh, we don't care about what men are doing. So therefore, because we don't care about what men are doing, we're not going to hold them accountable, and we're not going to be able to make sure that there are more actual prospects, like actual good prospects for men. Like, how about you guys get into a support group and support one another and elevate one another, and then you guys start taking accountability of how to change for y'all selves, so that way you can get more women, like better women. Like, that's what I'm saying. So don't try to make it seem like we need to dumb ourselves down because we're the ones wanting to educate. And I'm gonna speak to what you're saying, because I do. There's one thing that you said that I'm understanding. But to have us want to dumb ourselves down just for the sake of dumbing ourselves down is what's crazy. But the only thing I will say is there are women who will want to lead with that, their education or what they have, their independence. There are women who are trying to tear brothers down for what they have and what they don't. But I'm like, okay, those are different types of women. I'm not speaking on them who are trying to belittle, because at the end of the day, the men are ones belittling other women, or belittling women for having high body counts, right? So that whole conundrum of that confusion, we can get into that. We'll break it down in another show. But my point is, it's like, go get in a support group, go figure out how to lift your brother up, like how to make sure that you guys are being able to get to the next level. Like, I just don't understand why this is all about what women need to do every single time.
I mean,
that's crazy to me.
That's because that's the only thing we can really talk about. I ain't gonna lie, because when it comes to men, what should men do, right? That's gonna go one ear after the other. And a lot of us are very stubborn. It's a very broken relationship that we don't talk about. Men don't, unless we have our own circles. We do not care about the next man in the next room.
But that's what I'm saying. Get into a support group. If you don't care about what
I said, we have our own circles.
But that's what I'm saying. So if you have your own circle and you guys are trying to be connecting and building up your own, social status and financial incomes and stuff like that, then yes, that's where you need to focus. Yeah. That's what I'm saying. That is okay. That's what you should be doing. But to say we don't care about the next man down there is like taking them off the hook and being like, but we care about what that girl over there that's not in my circle, what she's doing in her body count. I mean, that's what I'm saying. Like, how do you care about her body count that you don't know, and this woman down that street, but you're saying I don't care about that man down that street because he's not in my circle. That's what you're saying.
No, well, me personally, like I said, I don't care about what they do. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think I know the majority of men, this is what they want. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is what they believe in. Like I said, I don't ask them questions, Because how I look at it is, if I see it, it's going to definitely have some kind of change in me or some kind of ideology about you. I'm gonna judge you. You know what I'm saying? That's just natural through programming and all the other stuff. But like I said, if she has a high body count, and I see her as a person, you know what I'm saying, her character, her dignity, everything like that, it's not going to change what I got, you know what I'm saying, what I got going on with her. But the majority of men, like I said, and a lot of these women are looking at these particular men. They want these particular men who do care about body count, who do care about providing for you and all the other stuff. They're looking for these. They want these particular qualities. They care about your body count. So if you want those kind of men, you got to worry about that body count. But if you don't care about body count as a female, you should not look for those type of men. And those are most of the time the men that you want. In other words,
you're saying stay in your lane.
Yeah.
Okay, that's what I'm saying. I think that's what we're all kind of agreeing
just
on.
Know what comes with what you want.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Like, you just have to be realistic with the situation with society. Like, and like I said, you can find some dudes who don't care, but if those are the ones that you want, you got to play the game the same way. And just, men know this. We know that we have to play the game a certain way with what we want. You know what I mean? And we use these platforms to basically tell you this is what men want. So if you want these type of men, this is what you're going to have to do. But it depends. Are you willing to change your type of man for that? Are a lot of women willing to change their type of man for that?
Look, all I'm saying is stop telling women what to do if you're not going to tell a man what to do. That's what I'm saying. That's all I'm saying.
Well, we'll tell a man what to do. They're just not going to listen.
Okay.
That's just reality.
So in other words, you're like, we'll spend time on telling what a woman should do. Not saying that you're not going to tell a man what to do, but because you can actually get results from telling a woman.
We get responses. Men do not respond back to other men they don't care about. We don't do that. But, women love to definitely give y'all opinion about what men got going on. So it's an easier conversation. And like I said, I think it gets miscommunicated as a debate or some kind of battle. It's not. We're trying to learn each other. Because we know other men. We know niggas are stubborn. You know what I'm saying? Like, we don't have time to deal with a stubborn. But a female is more likely to we can go back and forth. Some men obviously can't, but I think a lot of the times that we see on social media, men and women go back and forth all the time.
All the time.
So and I think that's good. I don't think it's bad. It's rapport. We're learning.
I think
we're understanding who we truly are as a society in black culture.
Having conversation is nothing wrong with that. It's when it comes to belittling and devaluing.
Yeah.
That's when I'm like, now we're in a space where I'm like, okay, I ain't trying to be here.
But men devalue each other all the time. We don't talk about this. We belittle each other all the time. You see it in rap videos. I'm flexing on this nigga, you know what I'm saying? I'll go shoot you down the street, whatever. That's all belittling shit. We do this every day. But we don't see it as that because it's normal now. And so the way we see y'all see us belittling y'all is not really, we don't really try to. I ain't gonna lie. It's just it seems that way because we haven't really had a true rapport with each other until social media came apart. You know what I mean? And so, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I guess in conclusion, we just need to respect one another, right? And if we do come at like we don't like something, like don't try to devalue someone for it because that's what gets me. Like I can never really get into that, but speaking of like, this whole, I don't want to say battle of the sexes thing, but like, different things that determine the quality of a relationship or how you may feel someone, how you want to show up with dating and stuff like that. There have been a lot of divorces, which has been like really kind of like, I feel like it may in a way be deterring people too from wanting to like develop true deep connections with people because I've been talking to my friends and we've been like seeing all these celebrity divorces and we're like, dang, like we don't know what to believe no more. Like what is marriage like? Why is everybody getting divorced? And so there was this show I remember a while back. It was on the Oprah Winfrey Network. It was called Black Love. And so the show featured black celebrity couples, and some weren't always celebrities, but they talked about, their different problems or how they've overcome them. That was the biggest thing, is how they overcame the issues that have arisen in their relationship. And what has been kind of crazy is a lot of some of the people that have been on that show have been getting divorced. And so it's like this weird thing where it's like, wait, what's going on? Why are people getting divorced all of a sudden? Like, I think the most shocking one to me was Iman and Tiana Taylor, because like they seemed so solid. You know, they've had shows together, like TV shows and music and all this stuff. And I'm just like, wait a minute, that shook me. Like,
I don't know.
Whoa.
If you let other men or women in your bed with your significant other,
oh, yeah, that's true.
You're bound to break up.
That's true.
It's like, it's hand in hand. So I'm honestly not surprised about any of these particular celebrity divorces. Jeezy and Jeannie Mai, I was sad about that one, I ain't gonna lie. I kind of like that kind of weird dynamic. Homie from gangster from Macon.
Yeah,
and then
strange.
you know, a lady
I'm in the process of reading his book.
Was on Daytime Show. Oh yeah, his new book, whatever. Yeah, it's that one hurt me. I ain't gonna lie. The Iman and Tiana Taylor was like whatever.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Hugh Jackman, I guess he had a 20-year relationship.
Like, what you about to go do?
I feel like he was doing it in between the 20 years. So I think he gonna be good, right? Joe Jonas and the old girl from Game of Thrones. Yeah. I didn't even know they was married, so it is what it is.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, we're definitely going into a path of, like I said, social media has kind of changed everything. It's one of those new revolutions of like dating or just, you know, a relationship revolution.
That's why I think you just should keep your relationship private. Be honest. That's what Method Man does. That's what Lorenz Tate do. Just keep your relationship private, man. Don't let everybody know, because, you know, then that's when the comments come in. Then y'all have a little conversation between yourselves about who he say, she said, and it's a big mess. So I think any and everybody that has a relationship should keep that thing private.
I mean, you know, there's money in that. You know what I mean? If you're a celebrity and you can talk about your relationship,
Thanks, thank
you have a lot of money, a lot of marketing.
Money ain't worth.
Oh, no, it's not.
That.
I'm just saying, you know, it's still that fly that's going to be in your ear. You know what I'm saying? Every now and then, okay, it's right there. I can just grab it, right? And then boom.
Nah, man. If it caused you to be alone and not even trust whoever, like I guarantee you don't hear nothing about Ice Cube and his relationship, what he got going on. He been with her for like over, 20-something years. Yeah. You know, certain things is not worth losing, especially money. You in the game, you make money in your sleep. If you up there as a celebrity in a sense, but you know, you make money all the time through products and everything like that. So I just feel like if your significant other don't have a connection with whatever you got going on, man, it don't need to be said or public.
No, I agree.
Personally, I don't know. I could be wrong, but I just think, you know, you'll save yourself a lot of energy and a lot of time and a healthy family if y'all just keep it behind closed doors.
I think Will and Jada is like the main example of, you know, putting your relationship obviously out there as a way to public, and it causes problems within a relationship and outside the relationship to the point where you get banned from the Academy Award.
Even my man Anthony Anderson got to pay $20,000 for alimony, bro.
He's in California. If you're in California and you wanna get married,
don't do it.
Don't do it. You might as well go to you already know. See, look, come on now.
Yeah,
that's hilarious. No, I think it's so sad because I feel like all of us would love to have a thriving, healthy relationship that is filled with love, joy, partnership, and commitment, and having, you know, some form of like leveling up each other, of course. And so I think that that's why it's like hard to see all of these happening. And I'm like, what is going on? Is there some type of, I have a conspiracy that there is something going on where they're attacking the marriage. They're attacking marriages. They don't want people to feel like this is something they should do. I don't know, because it seems crazy to me. I'm just like, wow. But I definitely desire that, you know. And so for me, I'm like, I hope that, you know, we get it together. I will be shocked if I see Sierra and Russell, like if they get a divorce. I would be like, I think my inner body, like I would just be shaken.
Just
like,
remove
shook.
marriages, like completely, like just ban them. I mean, I don't see the point anymore. No,
right? It's just like what's going on.
No, my parents been married for over like 30 years, so it's like it. I know what it takes, right? Like it takes sacrifice, it takes compromise, it takes all of that, and if you're willing to do that, and the only thing that really can bring that is true love
and a lot of discipline.
I think people give up way too early. Yeah. And that's the main problem, is just giving up way too early and not understanding what you really have. Social media has definitely boosted up the rate of giving up. I think that's the main thing. You realize how many fish are actually in the sea, so you just be like, let's go over here. Yeah, and that's the problem.
Or what relationship goals should look like, you know?
Because I'll give you an example. If you got cheated on, would you still stay with your significant other?
If I got cheated on?
Yeah.
Like,
if you got cheated on.
Just plain and simple?
Plain and simple.
If we are married,
if you're not married, even if you're not married,
well, if we're not married, no,
you ain't gonna do it one way or the other.
How you gonna tell me?
Because I know you.
No,
I seen you.
I'm gonna tell you right now. I'm gonna tell you right now. I probably wouldn't, like, just off the right. I feel like
you probably
wouldn't. I'd probably leave. And I don't even know if that's a good or bad thing. I'm just being real. You know what I'm saying? It's like it's a lingering thought that's going to be in my mind for a long time. I don't know if I can handle that.
Yeah.
And a lot of men don't know if they can handle that. Because that can really change a lot of shit. Like, you change your job, your workplace, how you getting your money, because you're thinking about that shit constantly. Can you deal with that extra piece of stress while you're doing everything else?
Yeah.
All right, Kel,
what if you...
let me flip it on the other side. Yeah. Knowing that the conversation we just had about us men not doing what we doing, right? Doing what we doing. You done it before. Have you cheated before?
No.
You never cheated
before? I've never cheated.
You lie.
I'm dead serious. I'm very...
I kind of believe him, though.
Every girlfriend will tell you, I keep it 100. Like, I will tell you when I'm about to leave because of this.
All right. Besides the needle in the haystack, which what you are, it's a lot of dudes out here that do cheat, right?
Yeah, no, you're facts, yeah.
That do cheat, try to get a fulfillment for some reason. Yeah. You know, maybe that girl is not giving it up. Maybe they on their period. Maybe they just stressing them out. It could be a whole bunch of reasons, right? When a woman cheats, the man can't help but think, damn, they about to replace me or something. Because I think when women cheat, and I'm not trying to make it a man and women thing, because Keisha, I'm not trying to press no buttons.
No, please press the
buttons. But you know, I feel like certain women cheat to elevate, in a sense.
Yeah.
You know, to replace, elevate. You know, if I have a Honda, depending on the girl, because there's a lot of girls that's straight up and down, loyal to the bone. Yeah. If I have a Honda and a dude that holler at you has a Lamborghini, you know, me personally, I feel like they'll go with the dude with Lamborghini. You know, when a man cheat or whatever, we just going for the ass, titties, da-da-da-da. You know, fulfillment. We're not necessarily trying to replace you.
That temptation, definitely.
That temptation is hell.
But there's so many ass and titties throughout the entire world. That's why I'm just like, what is it? So you're just saying
it's different
sizes. But those ass titties want me like right now. You know what I'm saying? It's different, not like sizes, different shapes. It's here.
So I think that's
in my face.
The whole point is, I think that's why men stress over women cheating, because of that. You know, it's like, damn, I know you my ride or die, my bottom bone. You know, I know I'm out here doing wrong, but you that one.
Yeah.
You know, but if you cheat and it's like, damn, my whole world's crashing, I don't want to give a damn about what I did. Da, da, da. So
what about when kids are involved? Like, if you're married,
that's different.
Like, if you're married and whoever cheats or whatever, when kids are involved, like, what do y'all think about that? Like, how do y'all feel like y'all would handle that?
I don't know.
If you married and you cheat, it's automatically divorce. That's against the word.
But you just said you would stay.
No, that's why I asked Kel, is it a marriage or you just dating? I asked him that.
Marriage is like, you say you would stay with your significant other if they cheated on you in your marriage. You just said that.
I asked him.
Before getting married. Basically, right?
Before getting married, I was like, married or not? And he was like, in a relationship. So I'm saying, if you're married, that's why I asked if you're married or not.
Yeah, when you're married, you locked in. Like, this is like, okay, you can't do none of this, and whatever.
But did you not say that though? Okay, whatever. Because I swear, you literally just said.
No, he said before. He said before.
Yeah, I said
before marriage. He wasn't talking about marriage.
I was saying before.
Not for you, but for you.
No, for him too. When he asked me the question, I was like, are you married or not?
That's why
and
you
you
asked
was
that.
like, no, just cheating in general. So I was just like, okay. But if you're married, it's too much things tied into one another. So if you cheat or whatever on your significant, for one, you're going against the word of God. You don't play with that. And for two, that's against every principle, everything we stand on. And if we have kids, then no. I mean, co-parenting, I hope so. But most likely it's going to go to who? The mom. The kids, at least. You know what I'm saying? Depending on this situation, I'm not sure.
Yeah, it just depends. But yeah, so if you guys had kids involved and you guys were married, would you stay or would you go?
Fuck the marriage. Fuck it.
Up in flames, burn a piece of
It's
paper?
gone. It's gone.
Yeah, because it's gone because we have kids and you cheated anyway.
Okay. So, and if the guy does the cheating,
Both. I mean,
Either
either
one.
one.
Okay, so you're
Both
saying
ways.
either- okay.
Both ways. Like
okay,
I say, you don't
so
go
then it's
against
just
the
like a
word.
co-parenting situation.
Yeah.
See, this is hard too because I don't even know how to mentally put myself in a circumstance like that because I don't even know how to process it.
Well,
to be honest,
I want to add on to this. Usually, females give you like I said, I gave my girlfriends an indicator like, hey, I'm about to do this, or we about to break up, whatever. Indicators, letting you know something needs to change in order for this to work. Y'all do the same thing. Y'all might not be direct with it, but y'all definitely be like, I've been needing a little help, and you ain't been able to do that for me. So
yeah, that's
you know what I mean? Like y'all,
What's
and
wrong with
men kind of like ignore it. I ain't gonna lie, and then
and there's
they
a
end up getting
problem
cheated
right
on.
there. There's a problem
And
right
that's,
there.
that's something I had to learn. And I get it. You feel me? Because some men ain't direct. Like I said, I am, but some of us are not. And so I get it. I mean,
trying to sugarcoat it. Don't expect me to read your mind. Tell me straight up and down what it is.
but that's not their frequency.
I know.
You know what I'm saying? Like we got to play the game, and that's how the game is played. You feel me? So I get it. You just got to know those indicators. You got to know what it is. Even though I'm direct, I understand you might not be as, because it's kind of embarrassing to kind of say, hey, you don't want to tell your partner straight up, hey, you're not doing this. You just want to show signs. So it like I said, play the game correctly. You know what's going on, and everything will be okay. But you cheat on me, it's over with, because I put a lot into my relationships, and I try to keep it as tight knit as I can. If it's not working, we can break up. It is what it is.
Okay.
It's just
So then the relationship will be dissolved. The marriage will be over. So when it comes to the kids, the reason why I'm asking is because I'm like, let's talk about where that leaves the kids, like weekend visitations and like I don't know, maybe co-parenting is better for some people, but like when it comes to raising, but what I mean by better, it's not that I'm saying I'm encouraging it, but what I mean by better is the relationship started tainting the way that they could show up as parents. That's what I mean. So they may be able to feel like, oh, I can't do this. So because I can't do the relationship, we can co-parent, and that is what allows us to be healthy enough for the kids. That's what I'm saying. I never think like, oh, I don't want my man going nowhere. I'm like, oh my gosh, no. My husband, he's going to have to stay with me forever.
Hold on. We didn't ask
Forever.
her. Your man cheat on you. You breaking up, you staying.
Oh, I'm more than likely going to break up.
Okay.
Yeah, because to me, you're dishonoring the relationship.
Okay.
So to me, I'm like, oh, I don't want this.
Is there never a situation where we're just going to allow it? One time?
What's funny that you say that is because I remember at one point I was in a relationship and I had this vision. Like it was like the universe was talking to me, and the universe said something like, "He's going to mess up, and you're going to." I don't know what this was. It was so weird.
It was indicators.
He was like, "He's going to mess up, and you're going to forgive him, and you're going to be okay with it." And I remember thinking, like, "What? Like I'm going to be okay with him messing up, like, you know what I mean? Because I'm never okay with that. Or like, it's not that I'm never okay with it, but I'm like, what is the extent of the mess up, right? So sometimes you never know until you're in it, because to me, I really feel like I would end it, because I would be like so devastated, or I'll be like, well, what made you choose to be with this person over me? You know what I mean? And it's just like, to me, that's why I said ass and titties are everywhere. Like, you know what I'm saying? So like, that's the self-discipline that you have to have, is because like, what is going on? You know what I mean? And they all come in different shapes, sizes, and varieties. So it's like all of a sudden, what mine ain't enough. You know what I mean?
Right.
But it's like, that's why it's like the allowing of, oh, it's cheating because it's only because of this little thing. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think it's still crazy, but that's why I'm like, I don't see me staying. I would have to be, I would have to see the circumstance because I'm like, am I in a relationship where this person is I'm not, like saying like he's leveling my life up, but I'm like, if I'm in a relationship and I'm literally the one sitting down and I'm like, he's changed my status,
Right. Everything, yeah.
and then I'm like, okay, you know what I mean? Like,
Right.
that's so different to me. I'm not even gonna lie. Like, I don't know. Like, I'm not saying I would want that, but I'm like, sometimes you're willing to put up with certain things based off of what someone may
What you're
bring to
dealing
the
with.
table.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm like, I would have to be in the circumstance, but no, I do not want my man to cheat on me. I am so stingy. Oh my God. Like, I don't want him going nowhere, but it's just, I would have to see, like, what is this circumstance? But to me, I don't think I would stay.
Keisha said, I'm not no Tiana Iman Shumpert relationship. It's not happening.
I'm stingy. Like, no, there is not a third person in this relationship. I don't want it. So yeah, that's why I'm like, it's hard. I would have to be in it because I don't want to be held for what I say right now. And if I don't do that in the future, because I don't know, I would have to really be in. There's so many factors and variables that determine whether or not some people stay.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And so that's why it's hard to say yes or no.
Right.
Because I do not know at all. And that's why I was saying, like, would kids change it? Because I'm curious to know if that's like one of those things that makes you turn a blind eye and be like, okay, I'm not going to leave this person. Because I'm like, the aftermath of it is crazy. Like, raising kids is hard.
I think kids make it worse, honestly, because they're gonna annoy me, and then your mama just cheated on me too. That shit gonna piss. That shit gonna send me to another level. Like, you know what I mean? I gotta leave. I gotta go.
That's so funny.
Let one of these kids break my TV, and then your mama just cheated on me. Oh man, you feel me?
That is so funny. Because I mean, the reason why I'm also asking is because with raising kids, you know, there's this thing that actually ties back to like the double standards where some girls are actually I watched this video. It was saying that some girls are actually being raised and like their mothers are raising them to actually like be responsible and actually go to school and do stuff like that. But their sons, they're not raising them in the same way. They're living in the same household, but they're more so being lenient with their sons, and they're more like allowing them to like not have to be held accountable. Like, I remember watching this video and I was like, oh my God, that's so crazy, because I remember thinking like the way my mom treats my brother, I'm like, that's insane. It's actually kind of sick. And I would talk to my friends who have brothers and they would say the same thing. They'll be like, yes, like the way the mom raises the son, like my brothers, it is so weird. Like, because they wouldn't do that to me. They would hold me up to a different standard. They would be like, you need to take care of yourself. You need to be able to do this. And so it's like the guys are not getting that same download. They're not getting the system update. They're not getting that like, oh, new operating system. They're just like, oh, I can have fun and go have sex and like be all outside and that's enough. And then I'm going to end up married. It's like, wait, where you didn't learn nothing in between that? Like, that's how simple your mindset is towards life and relationships. Like, that's crazy. And so, you know, that's why I'm like, I mean, yes, I hear that there's like the provider take care of your at least I don't even hear about that sometimes, like that being taught, like for real, sons to be providers. Like, I don't even know that I really hear that.
I think we talked about that before. It depends on how you're raised. Like I said, I think we were told, I was taught not to let nobody finesse me. You know what I'm saying? No females and nothing like that. So it's like, that's not the first thing we want to think of. We kind of learn that. Depends on the woman we want, right? Like, do she deserve to be provided? You know what I'm saying? Does she deserve to be taken care of?
Definitely.
That's what I had to learn by myself. But I was never told, hey, when you get a girl, you need to pay for everything. Nah, because my mom going to be like, she ain't shit. Why you paying? You know what I mean? Like, that's just how she going to be. So, but in regards to what you were saying, I was raised, my sister it's my older sister, right? She was definitely raised different from me. Most likely had it harder, had to learn a lot more more things than I did. I was kind of chill. You know what I mean? Like I wasn't really kept on a leash or nothing like that. She she was held at a high regard. I mean, that was my parents' first child. You know what I'm saying? I think that's like a
birth order.
Yeah, that's just what it is. And so I think that's where that comes in. I don't think it's like a female male thing. It's just I think if I was born first, I probably would have had to do more than my sister. But
okay,
it's reverse. You know what I'm saying? But then again, I was born way later than my sister. My sister was 14 when I was born, so that's like my big sister.
That's a big difference. So, yes, age wise,
it's different.
They're different people at that point.
Yeah, basically. So I know you got a little brother, don't you? Yeah. So how was that?
Yeah. No, man, it's cool. It's cool.
So like, you think you was raised harder than your little brother?
Oh yeah, definitely. It was a different time though. You know what I'm saying? It's just different now. You know, kids don't even go outside no more. They on tablets.
That's real talk though.
You know, they get fast food every night instead of a home cooked meal. It's just different now. You know what I'm saying? We don't have them big mamas in the kitchen telling you if you're not eating this food, you're not eating at all. You know, it's whatever my baby gets, whatever whatever he need, I get it. And I think that comes from us, because when we was coming up, we was sitting at the table, we had to eat what we had to eat. So as we went into adulthood and had kids of our own, we decided maybe not to pressure them on to eating like that, instead of just getting what you want so you could be fed. So it's different now. It's a whole different ball game. Do I regret living in that time? Hell no, because I feel like it was principles and in strictness that was staple in us in order for us to survive in this world. But I'm scared for the new ones, man. I'm scared for the new ones. You know what I'm saying? I hope they do good, but
I think we all adapt. I think every generation adapts to what's going on. It's going to be, because we grew up, we had old heads that was like, oh, y'all had everything, you know what I'm saying, and all that, and we didn't understand what they was talking about until we get into their age, and it's like, oh, now we know what you're talking about when it comes to the other ones. But I just see it as that's just how the world works. You just have to adapt to what's going on, and be tuned in. A lot of us kind of ignore what's going on. Because the tablets, they might love that. You know what I'm saying? That might be something like, oh yeah, we love this.
I think it's very beneficial. I ain't say tablets are bad.
No.
They're very beneficial when it comes to this tech world.
It looks bad though.
It looks
terrible. Like just looking at tablets all day, looking at, being on your phone all day. That's kind of crazy.
Going outside, getting your physical exercise,
and breaking a leg or something like that.
Break a leg, get some grass stains.
Run up the hospital bill.
Yeah, like
that's funny.
Clorox losing all types of money because we used to have to get our grass stains out of our pants.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying.
Just when they getting their money somewhere else. Yeah. But do you guys feel like parents, because like I feel like the reason why I'm bringing this up is like sometimes moms are harder on their daughters, but they're not harder on their sons. But I'm curious to know what you guys think about that in terms of men or dads towards their daughters versus their sons.
I think my parents definitely were harder on my sister in many ways. Like I said, I felt like I had a lot of freedom. I didn't realize until I was older. I was like, damn, they let me do a lot. But like I said, the gap, 14 years of age, it's like, it's different. I think, she'd have to have that conversation, but I know for a fact she definitely it was harder for her than it was for me. Did you see that?
Yeah, most definitely. I was the only child for like 12 years.
Yeah, so the same thing.
The only child in the house full of women, the only boy besides my uncle who was in and out of jail. But yeah, it was harder.
Yeah,
but being the fact that my father didn't have his father, that come into my life and be 10 times harder on me, to see that whatever I wanted to do. It was hard.
Yeah,
it was hard. He
was basically learning too.
Yeah, he was learning too, and I'm not saying everything was right. And I could talk about it now because me and him is on a different level. But when I was younger, I used to play football. In Florida, we breed them. It's just what it is. It's no different.
It's in the air and the water.
Huh?
It's in the air and the water.
Yeah, it's no different from little baby girls getting their ears pierced at age. It's just what it is, And when I used to play football and I ain't do something right, you know, he would, after practice, he would take me home and beat my ass.
Yeah.
You know, I would go over homework. If I don't spell nothing right, he would
Whoop
beat my
your
ass.
ass, yeah.
You know, so it was just one of those things that you know, now you can look back on it and laugh about it.
Yeah.
You know, but it makes you. I'm not saying it's right, but it makes you stronger in a sense, you know, and it showed that he can. Every time he beat me, he would tell me, you know, I love you, da da da. You know how parents is. You know, why I beat you, right? Yeah. But, you know, it was just one of those things. But it was,
you're like, damn.
Yeah, it was
you love the hell out of me, and
it was different. But it you know, it'd be certain times where we go fishing and conversate and this, that, and the third. So it was a balance. It was discipline, but also nurturing care at the same time.
Yeah. It's a different lifestyle.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
They definitely ain't doing that today. You feel me? You definitely go to jail today.
Right. It's soft parenting.
I remember we used to see people get whipped in the stores like it ain't nothing. Like,
Yeah.
you can't do that no more.
Don't
Though.
touch shit.
Man, what? But yeah, I mean, yeah. Lifestyles, it just depends, you know, like I said, the generation, everything moving. My parents are older. They probably didn't feel like whipping nobody. Like, well, no, I was getting whipped. I was getting, but it's like, they didn't feel like enforcing as much as they did on my sister, I guess. You know what I mean? It's like, he's a boy. I guess he'll get into it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I guess he'll learn eventually. So, yeah.
Oh, man. It's definitely, it becomes more and more revealed as we talk about it. You start to see, like, where the gap really actually is.
Yeah.
You know, you start to see, like, oh, this is why we're probably not seeing eye to eye or having these conversations and we don't understand it, you know, or it's like, okay, there's some learning that didn't happen. There's some unlearning that needs to happen, you know, different things like that, because a lot of times, like, as kids, like, the instruction manual for parenthood doesn't come with the kid, you know what I mean? So I don't even know, how can you possibly raise a human being perfectly? You get what I'm saying? So I do know that there are areas that can be improved on and stuff like that, but that's tough. That's tough. When I become a mother, I'll probably be able to speak to it then, but I'm not sure. But I want to get into Word on the Street because it's actually kind of related to, you know, children being a little behind and all that stuff. So I really want to know what Word on the Street.
So Word on the Street today, we're going to talk about education in different cultures, right? Kids are more behind in education, especially in America. That's been declining since I was in school back in the day. Shout out 2008 graduation. You know what I'm saying?
Damn, you old boy.
Yes, sir. You know what I mean? But you know, it's a thing where, specifically in Black culture, I was blessed because I was in like gifted programs, or whatever. So school wasn't too hard. But, you know, a lot of the homies from where I grew up obviously had it hard. Wasn't easy for them. A lot of them dropped out, ended up dropping out. And, you know, obviously that relates to where you at, where you from, how you grew up, and your education system. You know what I mean? But one of the main reasons that I seen with my own eyes was that, you know, you have an assignment, you have a project, you have homework. Do your parents enable you to do your homework, to do your job, or do whatever you got to do at school? I didn't see that. I didn't see a lot of parents actually nurturing their child in school, helping them graduate. Basically, they were just preying on them to succeed instead of actually helping them succeed themselves. Obviously, there are many factors. There's, you know, the mother might be working 5 jobs, 4 jobs, 3 jobs. They might not be there at all. The child might be disciplined. He might be suspended throughout the year, half the year. A lot of outside factors, and we don't really talk about that. I don't really see the government try to, you know, help that. I don't see our tribe helping that either. I don't see the older parents looking at some of these kids and like, hey, did you do your homework with so and so or whatever? Or just even trying to attempt to educate us as a whole. So that's the main thing, right? Like, whose fault is it that we as a society, you know, like as a society, but also culturally, are failing in education and going downhill?
I feel so old saying this, and I keep saying it over and over. Social media, my man.
You think social media got something to do with education
man,
today?
What? You know, you have phones in schools now. You know, when we was coming up, we had phones with candy in it. You know, I don't know if y'all ever went to the corner store and had them little ball candies
gum, yeah.
But you know, it's just different now. We've more focused on TikTok and this, that, and the third. Not saying those platforms are bad because people making their bag off it. I'm not saying that, but it's just influencing the younger generation and give them a lack of attention. It's like I can't just sit here and watch you teach like this. I'm down here looking at my phone, seeing what's the hottest thing going on, the music, whatever.
Oh no, yeah.
You know, it's just too much access to shit in order for you to sit down and pay attention to somebody or some type of lesson or history that doesn't even concern whatever you got going on. So if you ask me, that's the reason why.
No, that makes sense. What you think, Keisha?
Why kids are behind?
Yeah.
I think the reason why kids might be behind, I think it's a misunderstanding. I've always thought this. So my mom, she used to be an educator before she went into another industry. But like she used to be an educator where she would teach like parents how to, I guess, like parents who I think either lost their children or something like that, like how to I forget exactly what she did, but she basically helped parents how to be, I don't want to say better parents, but like, educate them on how like parenthood and stuff like that. Right. Which when you think about it, it's like there's an actual job that does that, but my mom used to do it. So she actually, at one point, she noticed that their parents, the children who were related to the parents who had like a troubling household, that those kids were considered behind or special needs, at risk. Yeah. And so it was a misunderstanding that actually this child was acting out or that this child was actually needing some type of attention, but they weren't not necessarily slow or behind. It was because of the fact that they weren't getting the attention, so they were acting out. And so then they were put into like a special needs classroom or they were deemed as at risk. And so they became pushed off to the side. And so rather than it being, let's address, this child not getting attention by having, whether it's like having therapy sessions or different things like that, it was like, they were just considered just pushed away. They're pushed out. And so I just always thought that that's like sad that there are some kids who are just, they just need attention. And really everyone's saying it's like, oh no, they're bad or they're, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I mean, I'm related to when I was in school. And I'll say it today. At some point, if any teachers of mine ever watch any of my content, I apologize. I was an asshole. I ain't an asshole. I was definitely a class clown, 100. I did not see them as like human beings, which is crazy to say, but it's just true. It's like when I went to school, it just seemed like a place I had to go to because I was a kid, right? And so, not realizing that these were people with regular jobs. Now, I ain't want to do no crazy shit. It was just, I was probably disruptive and all of that. And, I didn't really understand that until I got a teacher that I resonated with, right? One that I can really truly relate to. And that was the same thing with all my other homies. Like, everybody had their favorite teacher type stuff, you know what I'm saying? And then I realized, these teachers know where I'm coming from. They know how to talk to me so I could trust them. I didn't necessarily trust all my teachers. And I think that's one of the reasons why I would act out or whatever. But being in those programs, they would always, in parent-teacher conferences, they're like, he's passing his tests. He's doing everything he's supposed to do. It's just he's disruptive, and I didn't know why. And like I said, I just don't think I had trust in my teachers. It was just a place to go to, like daycare.
Yeah,
you feel me?
Exactly. Free daycare.
So that's definitely one of those dynamics. A lot of parents don't know that either, and they don't know how to talk to their kids about that either. And I think that's like, there was a viral video about a lady texting her teacher about her son's performance in the class and being debating with them and saying you're supposed to be doing this and all that, when they don't realize half of the job is yours. Like, it's up to you to have your child paying attention in class, and if you're not doing that, obviously they're going to act up. They're going to.
That's what I'm saying. It is related to the home.
It is absolutely.
It is like, and that's why I'm like, I think that's the hardest part is understanding that it's related to the home and being able to come up with programs that are in place to fill that gap, because it is unfortunate that there are some relationships that bear children, and that relationship, they shouldn't have been together in the first place, but they made some type of decision to do an adult thing, to have a child with someone that is very toxic, but they're not supposed to be with them. Neither one of them are ready or prepared, and that they still brought a child into the world, right? And so I think that it's unfortunate that happens. It happens way more than I wanted to.
Yeah.
But to have people have some type of programs in place for these children, I feel like that's a way to help be able to stop them from being deemed as like special needs, or something that's like, just give them a little more attention, even though we know they want it from home.
Yeah, I mean, and you hit the nail on the head. It's a lot of these children are born from just a fun night, and it's unfortunate because the parents don't value them as what they truly are, which is an entire child that is supposed to be taken with complete care. And like I said, these children look at school as just daycare, you know what I mean? And the parents also look at the school as just daycare. I know a lot of kids who were just sent to after school programs, sporting programs, because their parents didn't really want to take care of them after class or whatever, you know what I'm saying? They just wanted to send them, and then they'll see them at like 8 o'clock when all the programs are over with, and then just send them right back to school. It's kind of crazy. But that's just the reality of just how everything is going right now. So, any solutions, it's hard, right? Because it's more of a world question. It's more of a world problem. And it's like, how do we...
Therapy, get your children to therapy. I feel like that's one, valuing the mental health of the child, because if we're starting to understand, parents aren't able to be there with their child all day, every day, we may not even know how to understand what they're going through, because it's like we think that we're doing exactly and everything that we can possibly do, but therapy will help that child be able to get out what their feelings are and talk about those different things that might bother them or impact them negatively that they don't even know has, festered inside of them. You know what I'm saying? So it's like stuff like that, therapy, having, like I said, programs, after school programs are a great way too. Pouring into your child and having some form of if this is what you want to do, I support you fully. Let's get you into it. Let's do some more of that, And so it's really about paying attention, to your child, and if they are needing you, what they're needing from you as a parent.
Right.
So it's like just, being a little more attentive.
Certain people are meant to have kids. Certain people are not meant to have kids. Unfortunately, certain situations you cannot change because it's already embedded in the roots down each generation. It's just what it is. It's a domino effect. But those who are trying to break that generational curse, I agree with Keisha. Just seek therapy, have a connection with your child. The pandemic was the best thing that happened, besides people passing. But it gave you time to sit down with your kid and educate them and teach them and show some type of acknowledgement of whatever they got going on. Do you know their favorite color? Do you know what they like? Do you know this, that, and the third? It's just the most simplest thing that you had so much time to connect with in order to relate to your child and build that bond, And I think that's what it is. It starts from home. Once you start from home and you set them out in the world, they can handle themselves in a certain way in order to just be educated or whatever. You know what I'm saying? So I just think that once you start with knowledge of self and just know who you are and your history behind it, because they taking history out of school now. So that's what probably caused certain kids to not even pay attention to the history no more, or certain classes, because if something don't look like you or you can't relate to, it's like, why do I give a damn about this?
And that's probably why, yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
that's just what it is.
Yeah.
I remember in high school, I didn't care about no Romans, Greeks, or anything.
Yeah.
I didn't care because it wasn't
And
fascinating.
in America.
But all that to say, man, just seek therapy. Get in touch with your kids, and good luck, y'all.
And if y'all don't know y'all kids' favorite color, I don't know what to tell you. Like you failing already. Like for real. Damn.
Right. So
That's so funny.
I want to get into artist spotlight real quick. We don't got that much time. BG just got released a few weeks back. I believe like 3 weeks back. If y'all don't know who BG is, y'all must be hiding on the rock, or you maybe not just born yet because he been going for a good amount of time.
Bling.
Yeah, he was one of the original Hot Boys that started out with Cash Money alongside with Turk, Juvenile, and Lil Wayne. Everybody know who Wayne is. And of course, he used to hang out with Slim, Soulja Slim. They call him Magnolia Slim for people that's in Louisiana. But he is pretty much a Louisiana legend. Boosie look up to him. He has a lot of songs. One of his famous albums is called Chopper City, with Bun B, Juvenile, and everything like that. And now he's working on some new music. It hasn't been put out yet, but you've seen a few videos of him in the studio handling his business. He had a whole welcome party once he got released. Birdman himself came to him and everything like that. So I'm real curious about how BG is going to shake up the game. And welcome home, King. Quavo, he was at the White House with I always mispronounce her name. Kamala Harris.
Kamala.
Exactly.
Is it Kamala? It's Kamala.
Exactly.
I think it's Kamala.
It's Kamala, yeah.
Exactly. See,
Kamala Harris.
Yeah, but
VP Harris.
Yeah, the whole point of them even meeting up with each other to discuss and come together to prevent gun violence, the use of gun violence and everything like that. And Boosie came in. It was like, what about why I haven't been invited to the White House and everything? Boosie, you my OG. I love you to death. But you was just on a gun charge. You know what I'm saying? And everybody started going in on that. But what do y'all think about that whole situation? Being the fact that everybody knows that certain rappers, especially the Migos, they talked about choppers, this, that, and the third, then turn the other cheek. You think it because of what happened to Takeoff, or what? You think he going to even change up his lyrical delivery?
So the thing is, like, and this is where I'm a hypocrite, and I'm always admit this when it comes to music. So I look at music and I try to dissuade. I don't look at what they're talking about. I just go with I see it as music, right? Just pure music, nothing else, nothing over that. But we all know, they all know, and I've talked about this with Gunna, talked about this with Kodak. They all know that there are people out there that take this music as gospel. They take it as the word. They take it as a way of life, and that's how it should be. With that being said, it's hard for me to take any rapper who's talked about any kind of gun violence, any kind of drug dealing seriously when it comes to social politics or any kind of agenda or any kind of educational whatever they're trying to do in terms of whether it be Meek Mill talking about prison reform, Quavo being at the White House, because they've invited a lot of rappers at the White House.
Yeah.
Now if it's Common at the White House, we talking about Mos Def or something like that at the White House, Talib Kweli, J. Cole, Kendrick Lamar, cool.
I'll take it much more serious
because they know how to talk to their audience in a way where
right.
those topics, gun violence, prison reform, all of that
And
in music is conscious.
Yeah.
It's real.
Yeah.
They're giving you real game and nothing false. Now, obviously, some music is our stories. That's what they're talking about, right? Like they're just talking about what happens in the ghetto. But when you do it a lot and you're basically programming these people, into basically doing this kind of stuff, even though you're not saying it directly.
Think
it
it's
is
the way of life.
Yeah,
think
you
it's
can't.
Just the way of
you
life.
can't. You're glorifying it. You're saying you're not, but you are absolutely
Right.
glorifying it.
Right.
And if you glorify music, and those kind of topics like that, I can't take you serious when you're trying to make a change.
Right.
Now, if you do switch up, like you said, if Quavo does switch up all his lyrics and becomes this new conscious Quavo, cool. But if you go on the next record and you're talking about doing this and that, whoop de whoop and whatever, I can't take you serious. And it's nothing against you. That's just how I see it. I'm gonna still like your music. I ain't gonna lie. This is why I say I'm a hypocrite, because I'm gonna still listen to it.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't take your music as it's not gonna program me. I'm gonna be me regardless. But you're gonna program those who don't know how to turn that
weak minded.
Yeah, who don't know how to turn that off. So, all I can do is wait and see. I'm just not gonna, I'm gonna take it with a grain of salt and just, keep it pushing. You up there? That's cool. Whatever.
Yeah, there are some traumatic experiences that happen and actually change people's lives forever, right? I'm seeing this because I'm hoping that this is what it actually is this is a moment where he's like had time to reflect and see how he's spoken this type of energy into the universe to say like, oh, I'm shooting this, I'm doing that, all that stuff, and to say like, maybe I don't want to do that anymore because I've been impacted and I've lost one of the closest people to me because of gun violence. So I am hoping, like genuinely hoping, that this is one of those moments where he rises up consciously and he makes a change that is a lasting change, because that is, he's never going to be able to go look past this. Like, you know what I mean? Like, this is always going to be something that, you know, for the rest of his life, you know, you don't lose, like when you lose someone that you love, you just learn how to live without them, but it's never, you don't really get over it. You know what I mean? You just know how to cope with the fact that they're not here.
And he passed away
You know?
in your arms. So it's like
come
you would
on.
think you would switch up that whole, but to each his own. I'm not
Yeah,
sure what
so-
the agenda is.
I mean, when you make a lifestyle off of that kind of music, it's hard to just go away from it. Even traumatic experiences can't take you away from that. You know?
Yeah.
Money has a hard grip on a lot of people. I'm telling you right now, like, we wouldn't be doing all this type of music if money was not involved. It just wouldn't happen. You feel me?
I completely agree.
They'd be doing Afro beats or some shit.
That was the artist spotlight. You feel me?
Yeah.
Keisha, what you got?
No, but yeah, sorry, I'm getting to it real quick, but yes, I completely agree with that.
Oh.
And I'm hoping and I pray, like I really do pray that this could be one of those changing moments where hopefully he could lead a reform, some type of reform where it's like, okay, I did this before and it made me a lot of money, but I'm hoping that like he's like, I don't want to do that no more. And if he still wants to make music, of course, he'll change his delivery and his what he's talking about, and then he could still be supported and loved on by the community. And so therefore people will understand like, oh, I don't have to just make this type of music and it be lucrative. Like I could actually make something else and people will still rock with me. So I'm hoping, I hope that could come from this, because I would love to see a change in the way hip hop perceives Black America.
Right.
I would love that.
I agree.
But yeah, that's what I think. But yes, we're definitely switching gears, and Keisha done said it. I'm so curious to know what you guys think, because I know we don't have a lot of time, but here it is. Okay. I've known this guy for 6 years. We dated at the beginning of us knowing each other, and things didn't work out. We remained friends with one another and started dating other people. Every now and again, we would call each other and talk about our troubles in our relationship. As of recent, we both ended our relationships, and now he's telling me that he wants to make things work. He says that he fumbled by letting me go and that he's been waiting for me to be single. I rarely double back, so I don't know if I should be excited about this. Do men really double back with the intentions to make a relationship work? Or is he trying to see if he can still get me? Should I take this seriously? Is he bored? I'm so confused and I need help.
50-50.
Yeah.
50-50?
Yeah. To be honest, yeah.
Okay, go. Come on, we got time.
Yeah, I'm sorry. 50-50. I mean, shit. It could be either or, because, you know, it be some dudes that be reflecting on, because they've been out there, they doing their thing, but then they reflecting on what they had and was like, damn, none of these girls I've been with was like the one I have. So, you know, they could be like, you know what, let me man up, let me tighten up. You know, I'm getting older, I can't waste no time. Let me settle down, let me make things right. Or he was like, it's getting dry out here. I ain't have none in a while. I know me and her still talk every now and then. Let me just see if I can squeeze back in them DMs and hit. Plain and simple.
No, he's right. Now me, I don't. Well, okay, I'm a liar. If I double back, I'm not getting a relationship with you again. It's just not gonna happen. Now we can do the night thing.
Oh,
You feel me?
Yeah,
But
that too.
I'm not. I broke up with you for a reason. Like it is what it is.
Fair.
So you know, I know you might have upgraded your entire life. I hold grudges. Not playing. I don't really hold grudges, but yeah, man, it's a self-discipline thing to, like, you know, you might have upgraded in a way, but it's like, you know, I don't know. My mindset is like I can't really have that bond again with you, but you definitely come over every now and then. That's about it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Got it. Okay, so in other words, 50-50 and 100% no.
100% no, but night thing for sure.
The night thing for
Yeah,
sure,
night
but
thing for sure.
50-50.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That is so funny.
I
Well,
hope we helped you out. Whoever asked that.
that is there. Yes, and we would love to know what you guys think. Let us know in the comments below because we're curious. Is it a 50-50 or 100%? We want to know what you guys think, so let us know.
Most definitely. Thank y'all so much for tuning in to the Bridge ATL. Of course, alongside is Keisha and Kel. Please let them know where they can follow y'all at.
Keish Dunn did it. KeishdonneDidit.
NUE.Kelly, Kelly. You can follow production at Nostalgia Uni ENT.
And I go by the name of DJ 9D. You can follow me on Instagram, the real DJ 9, the number 9, and the letter D.
Check us out on YouTube. Woot Woot podcast with audio versions 1 through 6 coming soon. Yeah, this is about to be crazy. I'm about to listen to us in the car. What?
Ooh.
Most def.
Yeah. Let's get it popping.
All right, man. Peace and love, y'all.